Welcome to the night radio and television stations. Here are the news today. After the Lunar New Year holiday, the numbers of workers returning to work is relatively stable with a cheerful and excited atmosphere, recorded in Long Thanh District, Dong Nai Province.
In Gurthan Limited Liability Company, there are more than 3,000 specializing workers in fields of bicycle frames producing export to European countries. On the 6th of Lunar New Year, over 70% of employees are parked for work in the company. By February 26, this figure is over 95%, and the rest of the employees will return to work early next week. From the beginning of the year, the company has stabilized and actively produced for orders until the end of June this year. Similar to Gurthan Company, up to now, most of enterprise in Long Thanh District have returned to work normally. The surveys of the company show that after the affected by COVID-19 pandemic in the mid-2020, up to now, all the businesses have recovered and production is stable. Many companies also expand production and recruited more workers.
From February 27, the People Committee of Thai Yung Province allowed 50 industrial parks and industrial clusters with a total of more than 14,000 businesses to resume operations after the period of pause to fight against the pandemic.
The prevention of the pandemic in the enterprise is a special concern to Hai Yung. The province requires all the companies to self-assess the situation and commit to strictly follow the regulations on the pandemic prevention, organizing to take samples and testing of COVID-19 for workers. Up to now, the pandemic situation in Hai Yung province have been controlling, especially the pandemic has been controlled in the large outbreaks such as Chilen City and Kham Yang district, where there are many industrial clusters with tens of thousands of workers working. Hai Yung province leaders have directed the authority to create the more favorable conditions for businesses to operate again.
According to the Foreign Investment Agency, Ministry of Planning and Investment, up to February 20 of 2021, the total newly registered capital, adjusted and contributed capital, and purchased shares of foreign investors (FDI) reached 5.46 billion USD by 84.4% over the same period in 2020.
The capital of foreign direct investment projects is estimated at 2.5 billion USD, gained 2% over the same period in 2020. By invested field, investors invested in 17 fields, in which the processing and manufacturing industry ranked first with a total investment of over 3 billion USD, accounting for 55.7% of total investment capital registrations. Currently, there's about 300 enterprises and groups from countries and territories around the world planning to expand their investment or research, learn about the Vietnamese investment environment, and make plans to pour investment capital into Vietnam.
On February 27, Iran asked Iraq to announce the perpetrators of missiles attacks on U.S. embassy and Western targets in Iraq.
A speech after the conversation with Iraqi Foreign Minister Fuad Hussein in Tehran, Iran's Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif stated the Iraqi government needs to publish the identity of perpetrators of those attacks. The recent attack could be seen as undermining the relationship and stability between Iraq and Iran. On February 22nd, dozens of missiles aimed at the heavily protected green zone in Baghdad, where the U.S. embassies and diplomatic missions of several other countries are located. This is the third attack in the week against Western diplomatic missions, military or trade facilities in Iraq.
On February 27, the U.S. approved the COVID-19 vaccine from Johnson & Johnson for emergency use.
In the statement, Janet Woodcock of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration (FDA) says, licensing this vaccine will expand the range of vaccines will help us in the fight against the pandemics. Previously, the FDA's website published research results showing that the single-dose COVID-19 vaccine developed by Johnson & Johnson produced powerful antibodies that prevent the body from getting seriously ill or dying from COVID-19.
That's all on the news today. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye and see you next time.